What is up, everybody? Back with another top 10 here today, and this time it's going to be 1979. Really awesome year, and once I get this one done, I'll have every year done from 1975 to 2004. So that's a nice 30-year stretch there in a row of top 10s for each of those years. If you missed some of them, you can go to my main page to the playlist part. Got it all broken down by decades, so pretty easy for y'all to find if you missed some of those. And as I said in the past, I'm going to get every single year done since 75 at least. Getting pretty close now, but eventually I might go back to 1970, so 70 through 74 with top 10s from each of those years, and then might do like a top 10 or 20 from the 60s as a whole. But 79, killer year to end the 70s. A lot of great classic stuff released, so super tough to narrow this down. As usual, got the honorable mentions at the end, but going to start it off here at number 10 with the Triple Axe Attack of Molly Hatchet with the album Flirtin' with Disaster. Love these guys, got their debut up on the wall right there, but killer blend of southern rock and hard rock. As I said, the guitar playing is just freaking amazing. The harmonies, the melodies, the guitar solos are scorching. Kind of like a metal edge to their guitar solos. Nice, fast playing. Triple Axe Attack, as I said. Dave Flubeck is amazing. Steve Holland and Dwayne Rowland, the guitar players on this album, and Danny Joe Brown on the vocals. Cool, unique voice. You know, not the greatest singer ever, but he's got a really nice, unique sound. He was on their first two albums, and then he left for a couple albums, then came back in '83. He is the voice of Molly Hatchet. I'm sure everyone who knows of Molly Hatchet knows that, but great album here. Whiskey Man, another great standout track. The title track is just amazing. That solo is freaking legendary in that song, but this had to make my list here at number 10. Number 9, I'm going to go with Just a Game by Triumph. As I've said many times, they're one of my favorite Canadian bands, one of my favorite trios. Love freaking Rick Emmett. He's one of my top 10. I listed him in my top 10 hard rock guitar players, my top 10 hard rock vocalists, all the way up at number 2. So I freaking love his voice. I do prefer him, obviously, over Gilmore when it comes to the vocals, but Gil's no slouch. The guy can freaking sing as well. He's a great drummer, and Mike Levine on the bass. But looking at some of these songs, this does have probably their biggest hit with Lay It on the Line. Fantastic song. It's a big hit for a reason. It's probably the only song by them I actually hear on the radio in my area, but amazing stuff. Looking at the rest of this, Moving On is great. Young Enough to Cry is a really awesome one as well. American Girls, the title track. But super awesome album. Got a nice gatefold opening there. Got the guys. Super cool double neck guitar there that Rick's playing. But yeah, killer album here at number 9 for me. Just a Game by Triumph. And then with number 8, I'm going to jump over to Ireland with probably the best Irish hard rock band of all time, Thin Lizzy, with the album Black Rose, a rock legend. So this is the first one and only one where Gary Moore was like on the full album. He did record part of a song on an earlier album because he had brief stints in the band before this, but this amazing duo here, it's brief but amazing. You know, Scott Gorham alongside of him, great harmonies, just twin guitar, melodic, amazing stuff. Phil Lynott, super cool, unique voice. As I said before, he's a great frontman, super cool, plays bass as well. And Brian Downey on the drums, I think, is a great player. They just got a super tight sound. The production is amazing. Looking at some of these songs that I got listed down. What I list is some of the best on this album. Do Anything You Want To. Toughest Street in Town is great. Waiting for an Alibi. That just has a freaking amazing, beautiful guitar part. So had to make the list. Thin Lizzy, love them. So that's there at number 8. Number 7, I'm going to go with an album that I think is slightly overrated, as in this one is listed as the greatest hard rock album of all time. I don't know how much, but sometimes for sure. Highway to Hell. You know, I don't think it's the greatest ever, but it is quite solid. A lot of good classic songs on here. I'm pretty tired of the title track, but other than that, you know, Touch Too Much is awesome. Walk All Over You is a great one. Girls Got Rhythm, Beating Around the Bush, my personal favorite on the album, but good hard rockin' stuff. The last one with Bon Scott before he passed away. As usual, Malcolm and Angus are fantastic on guitar. Amazing tones, great riffs, good solos, so it's there at number 7 for me. Number 6, I'm going to jump over to Germany. So we're going all around here. Germany with Scorpions, Love Drive. And this one is pretty interesting because Michael Schenker had left UFO. He is briefly back in Scorpions. He played guitar on, I believe, 5 of these songs. The other 3 were the lead guitar work. He plays 5 of them. Rudolph, his brother, does rhythm guitar on all of it, and the guitar player that would take over full-time on lead, Matthias Jabs, did 3 of the songs, lead guitar work on these, but amazing stuff. Love Scorpions. The vocals from Klaus Meine are fantastic. Herman Rarebell on the drums is a freaking awesome classic drummer. But just love freaking Klaus's voice, especially, and the guitar tone, the guitar freaking solos, riffs, all fantastic. Looking at these songs, freaking Loving You Sunday Morning, Another Piece of Meat is fantastic, Coast to Coast. And probably Can't Get Enough is my favorite on the album. Really good, fast, hard rocker, that one is. But top to bottom, killer stuff. Number 5, I'm going to go with Narita by Riot. Now, another one that is just super underrated. Riot is one of the best classic hard rock bands there is when it's the blend of Guy Speranza's voice and Mark Reale on guitar. Just such amazing tone, scorching fast guitar work. Ventura as well on guitar. Nice freaking dual guitar work there. But Mark is such an awesome player, super underappreciated, really one of the all-time greats. Guy Speranza on vocals, such an amazing voice on those first 3 Riot albums. Just this one here, absolutely fantastic. Looking at these songs. 49er, that one's got to be probably my favorite on the album. The vocal melodies are fantastic in the verses there. But top to bottom, that's a fantastic album. Title track is amazing. Road Racing. But yeah, absolutely deserving to be on any 1979 hard rock list, in my opinion. Then at number 4, I'm going to go with probably my favorite if we're going to list. I'm not going to say it now because I don't know what. I'm going to do my top 10 hard rock bands. There's a few of them that are up there, but Ted Nugent absolutely is top couple. And the run of albums he was on from 75 to 80 with his solo stuff, fantastic. Charlie Hunn on vocals on this album, the second album with him after Derek St. Holmes left the band. And Cliff Davies, one of the all-time great, underrated classic hard rock drummers. This album has some of Ted's very most underrated and best songs. Of course, Paralyzed is the biggest song on here, which is fantastic, but looking at this, Snake Charmer and Satisfied, if you want some good classic underrated Ted Nugent songs, if you're not super familiar with his discography, start with those. Those are just absolutely amazing. The guitar tone, the solos are scorching and awesome. The riffs are top tier, and that album cover is just sick. So that is there at number 4 for me. Depending on the day, it could move up a spot or 2, but for now, I got it at number 4. Good classic underrated stuff from Ted. And at number 3, I'm going to go with Bomber, Motorhead. I mean, Motorhead is just an amazing band, great sound. Another one of my favorite trios of all time. I talked about Triumph just a couple minutes ago, but Bomber, such an amazing album. Lemmy on vocals, Fast Eddie Clarke on guitar, such an amazing player. And Phil Taylor on the drums, just such a great classic lineup. And sad, as I've said before, that they're all gone. They all passed away by this point, but amazing music lives on here. So Bomber, Dead Men Tell No Tales, All the Aces, Lawman, such a great chorus that one has. But number 2, sticking with Motorhead, got Overkill at number 2. So 2, bands back in the day would be releasing 2 amazing albums in the same year a lot of the time, back-to-back years, and nowadays it's 5 years between albums. But Overkill is amazing. It's a top 3 Motorhead album for me. Stay Clean and the title track are probably they're definitely my favorite songs on this album, and they're in my top 5 all-time Motorhead songs. Just great stuff. No Class and Metropolis, a couple other favorites on there. But before I get to number 1, I guess I will look through the honorable mentions. And I got Dynasty by Kiss. Yes, that one, the fans are kind of divided on. Other than I Was Made for Loving You, it's not really super disco like a lot of people claim the whole album to be. Dirty Living is just an amazing one with Peter Criss on vocals. Nice gruff vocal from him. I freaking love. Strikes by Blackfoot. Love Ricky Medlock. Another great classic Southern rock album and band there. Saxon and Accept's self-titled debut albums. Both good. Gamma 1 by Gamma, which was the band that Ronnie Montrose formed after Montrose, so good stuff with that. Love Hunter by Whitesnake. Night in the Ruts, which I've got a vinyl copy of actually by Aerosmith. Cool stuff there. And the last official full-length studio album by Zeppelin, In Through the Outdoor, which I've got a vinyl copy of right there as well. And my number 1, some of y'all probably saw this coming. Amazing stuff. Honestly, how could I not pick Van Halen 2? Such a fantastic album. I think it's slightly heavier and darker than the debut. It's getting real close. it's hard for me not to pick Van Halen 1 as my favorite, but this one is a very close second, and I might see myself in the future ranking this one as my favorite Van Halen album. But amazing stuff. Light Up the Sky and DOA, super heavy and aggressive. Eddie Van Halen, as I said in my 1978 video, has probably the best guitar tone of all time. He's easily a top 5 guitar player for me ever. I'm going to be freaking sad forever that I never saw him live. But David Lee Roth, arguably the best frontman. Michael Anthony, great bass and backing vocals. And Alex Van Halen, really great, somewhat overshadowed drummer due to Eddie Van Halen being more in the spotlight over the years. But Alex, such an amazing drummer. And yeah, so many great songs on here. Looking at these, Somebody Get Me a Doctor's awesome. Bottoms Up is great. As I said, Light Up the Sky, arguably, it's like my second or third favorite Van Halen song ever. Just such a good heavy riff. Beautiful Girls. Spanish Fly is ridiculously impressive, that acoustic guitar song by Eddie. But this is just an amazing album. So takes the top spot for me of 79, Van Halen 2. And that does wrap up the list. As I said before, now I have freaking 30 years in a row here from 75 to 2004 done. So go check out all that stuff if you missed any of it. Let me know what you thought of this 1979 video. What are your 10 favorite albums from 1979? I always like to see it. If there's something obscure and cool that I might have missed, I like to discover stuff. So let me know in the comments. And until next time, thank you for watching.